Hey y'all, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Bailey.
Welcome to Livin on a Prayer.
We're two best friends who are here to keep it real and relatable.
Through life's hills and valleys, we're here to remind you we're all just living on a prayer.
Well.
It's New Year's
It isn't a new year. Hey.
We're about to have a
Welcome to
party.
the party. Yeah, what's up, y'all? I'm like hyped up.
Are you ready? Can you believe that we're going into 2025?
No.
25.
Honestly, no. No part of me believes it.
2025.
That means I've been out of high school for 15 years.
You graduated in 2010.
Yeah.
Woo, baby.
And my 10-year wedding is this year.
Oh my gosh.
In March.
Wow.
I am just
This is a big year for you.
This is a year for me. I'm an old woman.
I love when things are
glasses.
on like the 0, the 5, the 10,
Yeah, it
the
keeps
15,
the math
20.
real
Yeah,
easy.
it keeps
real
the math
easy.
mathing.
The math is mathing. And just so y'all know, I can't really see much right now.
I'm really jealous of your glasses.
What did I tell you? Being jealous is a sin, girl. You don't got to be jealous of me. You want them?
No.
Okay, these may or may not be on and off.
Okay, why don't you take them off until we celebrate?
Okay, here's why.
So you don't like feel like are you going to feel drunk?
I feel a little beer goggles in these.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like, I can't really see that good before these. And then just the blue, it's just like,
Okay.
They'll be back for the celebration. For now, this will have to do.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here.
Okay.
A celebration that can last throughout the year.
Yeah, 2025.
Okay.
What
That was enough.
is a song that you want to listen to on New Year's Eve?
Well, I don't know. That's a lot of pressure.
Sorry.
Honestly, I'll probably listen to Forrest Frank, one of his songs.
Does he have a song about the New Year?
No, but I feel like the one that's I just took a break, okay, and now it's back to work. It's like, New Year, let's go, baby.
Okay, let's freaking go.
Woo!
So,
Hey.
you're going to work on New Year's? Like, you are ready to work in 2025.
I'm ready to do a lot of things in 2025.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay,
so
New Year's
today,
resolution.
we're going to talk about our New Year's resolutions.
And how do you feel about a New Year's resolution? Some people are like, I'm not doing that. I'm not I never do it. I don't want to put pressure on myself. Or are you I do this and it really helps me and motivates me? How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I don't feel like I ever set 3 New Year's resolution or 1 New Year's resolution. I feel like in life, if you don't have a goal,
yeah,
and if you can't see where you want to go, then there's really no chance that you're going to work hard to get there.
Right.
So I essentially think of it just as a goal.
Goal.
And it's just a good time to reflect and put things into perspective.
Yeah.
So we basically call these New Year's resolutions.
Right. And
or
you can
these
look
goals,
back
New
at your
Year's
last
resolutions.
year and
Yeah.
see things you'd like to do differently or things you'd like to keep the same but get better.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
I honestly think that I do this often. I go through phases where I'll just sit.
You do.
And I'll have a moment and I'll reevaluate everything.
And reset.
And I'll reset and I'll figure out where I want to go to next, whether it's in a month or if I have a goal in 3 months.
Right. Or 5
of
years.
what that looks like. Or 5 years.
Okay, so let me ask you this before
We get started.
did you have one last year and did you succeed at whatever it was? Did you have a New Year's resolution / goal for the year and did you hit it?
I didn't.
Set
a goal, a specific goal. We made those mood boards.
We made mood boards. So
We made 2024
can you
mood
remember your
boards.
board and did things happen the way you wanted? Okay. So what happened?
The
She
answer is
said
no. If you're
no.
not watching, you're just listening.
She's
The answer
shaking her
is
head with a
no.
little bit of a sour face.
I honestly think that what was on my board for last year could really be my board
This year again.
I think that
So you worked towards
I'm working
these
towards
things.
it. Yeah. I'm looking a little more towards it. I'm looking clearer. I see things clearer. I had a lot of junk in my life last New Year's. And
Probably even some junk on the board. Was there junk on the board? Anything you'd remove?
No, but I
No.
had to remove things to get to
the
these things on the board.
Yeah.
So I really think that my year of 2024 was getting rid of the junk.
The noise. the unnecessary, the
things,
roadblocks.
Yeah. The things that were really pulling me down.
Yeah.
And they weren't helping anything that was on my board. Yep. There was no clear path to get to those things.
Right.
So I had to get rid of a lot of that, and I had to do a lot of readjusting.
Yeah.
And I feel I'm in a much better place than I was 1 year ago.
Yeah, and it honestly stems back to like when we say like if we're pouring into things that are not for us or not godly or not what he wants us to do, he cannot provide us with the things that he has for us. Yeah. So it's like that was I feel like a big part of your year was like removing things that weren't for you so you could get to like God's plan for you.
Yeah. And I think pretty cool. Like maybe I didn't like hit my goals on my mood board. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that I'm not closer to them. Yeah. So I can confidently sit here and say like, I think you
succeeded.
I succeeded.
You had a great year.
For me, I can check that off as a win.
Yeah.
Now,
amen. What a win, girl.
Do I still have a lot to work on? Yes.
Of course again, we do.
If we didn't, we wouldn't be growing.
We wouldn't be here.
We wouldn't be humans.
Yeah. That's not how it goes.
So
no one's perfect.
I see things a little clearer than I did a year ago. So I can confidently say I've moved some of those roadblocks out. And I think everything that was on my mood board for 2025, for 2024, I'm closer to, and I can get there maybe in 2025.
Yes. Amen. Congratulations.
Thanks.
On success.
Thanks.
That's great. I think too, like, it's so cool. Like, first of all, it feels like yesterday that we made those, but also 100 years ago. Yeah. Like so much feels like it has happened, but I literally feel like we just did that.
Yeah.
How has a year gone by? I literally don't know.
I don't know.
It's a little weird.
So much has happened. So I'm sitting here being like, oh yeah, that was a full year.
That was a full year. Like that was a year full of things.
Yeah.
And so with my board, I'm trying to like remember exactly. Like I have things that I like know it was on it. There's a few things I can't really remember, but I feel like really similar to you. I don't feel like I checked off anything on it like fully, but I made great progress towards things.
I will say, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
Say it.
I think that when we sat and made those boards, like we really, really thought big picture. Like I think that our goals or our resolutions for 2024 were really, really big. So I don't necessarily know that maybe it wasn't even possible for us to get there.
Yeah, actually, I think some of mine were possible.
Yeah, but I think some were, and I think some weren't.
I think the realistic part of it is like it's okay that they're not grabbed in a year.
Right. They're attainable goals. They're attainable resolutions, but some of them take more time.
I have to say something.
What?
These things jiggling on our heads.
What is it the sound for you, or is it you
mine
watching
sounds,
me?
and I'm watching your little.
I don't feel mine at all. I don't feel mine.
I ran into the tree. No, it's just funny. I'm sorry. I hear mine and I'm like realizing how much
you're having a fun little time
with my head, and then your little numbers are jiggling. But no, I think like for me, it's a big picture of like just giving yourself grace and like just being like, okay, yeah, you didn't reach that. You could have reached that, but give yourself grace because you went through some hills and valleys through this year that like may have stopped you from reaching that, but you did everything around that like really well and to the best of your ability. So it's okay if you didn't reach that exact goal. Like I think I wanted to read like 24 books. I think that was something on mine, like to read 24 books, to make reading more of a habit. And I don't know how many I read, but I read a lot. I did not read 24 books.
But you probably read more than...
I probably read like 12 to 15.
All right, but think about this. Maybe if you would have put only 15 on your resolution, you may have only read 10.
Right. And that's such a little like goal. But for me, like when I read, I'm not distracted by Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. And I use my bedtime, alone time a little wisely. Like it's just a better...
You're more conscious of it.
Yes. So that was why that was such a big goal for me to like stay off my phone more and to like read. Yeah. But... So yeah, I could have hit 24 books because I could have, but I didn't because there was other things. And I slacked. I scrolled a lot of nights on my phone instead of reading. And it's just about like just giving yourself grace, I feel like, we're all doing our best.
Yeah, and you're honest in it and you can recognize it and it's clear. And I think that is growth in itself.
Amen. Yeah. To not be mad at yourself like, ugh, I could have done that and I failed and I suck. And I like, no. Yeah. My big one's the Bible. Like I was on that still am doing it. The app that like helps you get through the Bible, and I should be finishing the Bible next week from front to back, and I'm not. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it in a year. But have I read almost, I guess, 3/4 of the Bible
and
now?
have you learned much more?
And I've never read the Bible before in my life before last year, and I'm 3/4 of the way through, and I've had this conversation with so many people, like, it is not a race to read it in a year, because you're going to read it for the rest of your life. So it's not like when you finish it at the year, you get to close it and be done. No, this is a lifelong journey. Right. So take your time, do it in your time. It's okay. Like progress. That you're not. And I'm like, I am so proud of myself when I look at how much I've read and I've learned so much and I feel so much closer to God. I am like, yeah, you didn't finish it, but you're gonna. You're close, You're probably gonna finish it in February.
Progress, not perfection. It's
exactly.
Okay. And I think I read something the other day, and I mean, you hear this time and time and time again, but like, healing is not linear. Right. And success is not linear. You can't have success without failure.
Right. You just can't.
So throughout this year, like, there has probably been big milestones, but there were lots of trenches that you hit.
A lot.
And if you made it through the trench, that's success.
Party. Throw it up for the new
25.
Year. Okay, let's
25.
go. But really, I really think, like, looking back at my goals for last year, I feel like I did really great, even just like having those goals in mind, and it just gives you something to work towards. Right. And I feel the same, that like my board could probably just hop to the next year. This board probably could be like a forever board, because I think it was like health and like working out and reading the Bible and my marriage and my children. Like, it was all stuff that I just want to be better at every day. Yeah. So I think we did a pretty good job.
I think we did too.
I would say success.
I'm not like discounting myself. I actually looked at it the other day, and a lot of the things on my board were out of my control. Right. You know, like certain things had to happen for me to hit that. Yeah. And you know what? If they didn't, maybe that was a blessing in disguise, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think anything is a blessing in disguise. Yeah. Even when it seems bad, because I mean, like we always say, like, God wouldn't give us something that we couldn't handle or that he didn't want us to go through.
That wasn't intended for you.
Yes. And a lot of the bad stuff, y'all, comes out to be your best victories. Like, you go through these trenches and these hard times, and a lot of like, why me? Why this, God? Why would this happen? Why do you do this to us? Like, all these like thoughts go through your head, but I promise you, you always look back. Yeah. If you allow yourself to, if you cling to the Lord in your faith, I promise you always look back and you're just like, wow, that made me me. Mm-hmm. Now look at me. Now look who I get to help. Now look at my testimony. Look at my story. Like, if you use it all for the right purpose, it's so good. Yeah. That rejection was redirection, or that door closing opens another 5 windows. 1,000 of them. Right. Yeah.
And it's really cool to just watch the steps that you can take.
And just being present in that moment.
Even in those small things.
Yeah. And, you know, even that little saying that's always going around that's like, be present and thankful in this moment. This is something you once prayed for. Mm-hmm. And, like, we're always looking for the next best thing. And we're always praying for the next season and the next step.
And sometimes we don't enjoy what we're in.
When this is this is, like, where you begged the Lord to be, like, 10 years ago. Yeah. And now you're here. So you're just moving to the next thing. But, like, no, like, be present and enjoy it and just like live in it.
Don't rush through it.
Don't rush it. Yeah. Don't rush it. So congrats on our boards last year.
Yeah, congrats.
Feel successful. So now, what is anything like that really jumps out at you that you want to like accomplish this year?
You know,
I know.
What? You know, for me or for you?
For both of us. You go first.
Oh, I actually was sitting last night and I wasn't thinking about what's a goal or what's a resolution for me for next year. This is just like in general, right? Just something got brought up that could be a really big opportunity for me. And like at first when I heard about it, I'm like, I really, 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 really want this. And it's something with work. But I think that it would totally change the game for me and for my team. Yeah. And like it would open me up to a whole nother community of people, which like we're always striving to.
Yeah, that's the point.
To grow, right? Like in your business and just in life, but really like in that business and cultivate new relationships and open up a new avenue and a new door. For sure. And so when I first heard about it, I got like really excited. I was like really, like I'm like already in my brain, like moving forward of like,
you're jumping. If this happens, this could all happen.
All these things could happen. These are the ideas I have. This would be wonderful. This is who I could get to do this. This is who I could get to do that, whatever. And then, so that was, what's today? Friday. That was Wednesday evening. And I actually wound up going to bed and not even doing anything about it. And yesterday, when I was just sitting and reflecting on it, I thought to myself, like, I'm not praying for this to happen. I'm shifting it. And I'm not setting that goal for that job to happen.
To get it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, I don't want to just
Jesus,
get it.
help this work out.
Yeah, like, God, prayer. I really want this.
Yeah,
Jesus, please guide my steps so I can get this job. It was, I reframed my mind work.
Yeah.
And my prayer to be, God, if this is your will, I want it. If it's not, take it away.
Amen. That's a hard one.
Uh-huh.
When you want something so bad to even say, God, just take it away if it's not for me.
Since, I will tell you the day, it was November 1st. Since November 1st, this has been my prayer. So we're going on 2 months of this happening, and I have redirected all of my prayers to not be.
Amen.
To not be.
That is so good.
I've not been specific. And, I know some people say when you pray, you're supposed to be specific, but sometimes
you don't know what you're supposed to specifically be praying for.
And sometimes if you pray for that, it's the wrong thing. And then God puts you through some muddy waters so you can figure out that really wasn't for you. So my prayer has been, if this is for me and this is where you want me, and it's going to glorify you in what I'm going to do and in the relationships I'm supposed to cultivate.
Open it up.
Open it up for me. If not, please close the door and don't even let me go one step further.
Yeah, and that's
why let me go, and then I said that.
Yeah.
And then I changed it to,
because you're like, I don't want to even go through it if it's not for me. And he's like, oh no,
I don't even want to walk through the door.
Sometimes we need you to.
And he will say, you need to walk through the door and into this room.
Yeah.
But you're not moving to the next room.
Right.
Because
you got to feel and learn something in this room.
That's where your journey ends, and only he knows that. So my prayer has just, and I know that that's where I'm going to be guided, but then it turns more into like, if this is what I'm supposed to embark on, or whatever portion of this journey I'm supposed to embark on, please let me do it with like arms wide open and surrender it to you and not try to control it.
Yes.
And please don't make
please take away. Oh, it's so good.
Please take away the anxiety of what this situation may feel like, or questioning what it may feel like. Like, I just
give me peace.
Yeah, just give me peace and let me walk through it.
Peace and clarity, just to like go through this and do it for you.
And honestly, I can't even say that. No, I can confidently say that 1 year ago that this would not
come out of your mouth.
No, you know that.
Sorry.
Maybe
you're like, I'm going to get this job, and if I don't, it's over. Or whatever. Like
6 months ago, this probably wouldn't have
I'm
even come
actually
out my
like
mouth.
have chills hearing it. I'm so proud.
Thanks.
It's really a big deal to like be able to surrender these big life things to God and confidently do it. Like, a lot of times we're like, I know, surrender to God, like give it to God. But really we're still like, but I'm going to do what I can, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really hard as flesh and as a human to just really, really, really fully surrender. And I mean, we struggle with it every day with everything, like motherhood, work, marriage, like all these friendships, like we just try to control. And a lot of things like we like act on emotion and instant gratification and all these things, but it's just not how the Lord works.
No.
Like you have got to give it up.
And I was actually feeling really anxious the other day for the first time in a really long time. And every night I have a rosary and and those surrender novena beads. I used to sleep with them next to my bed.
Now they cuddling with you, huh?
Now they're in my bed.
They're in her bed.
They're in.
She's like, no.
Bed, and they're in the other spot. Yeah. And if you know, you know. But that's
one
where they
day.
Are. And the other night I was feeling really, really, really anxious, and I haven't felt this way when I tell y'all months. I haven't felt this way since like August. That is the last time I remember feeling it.
Like a true panic attack.
A true panic.
Yeah.
And Sunday night I started feeling it again, and I went to bed just. Jesus, please take this away. Please take this feeling away. I can't. Please. I don't want to feel this. No. So, I say the rosary and I fall asleep. And the next morning when I got out of my bed, and I didn't feel this when I was laying down. I got out of my bed and I went to go make my bed, and the surrender beads were right underneath where I was laying.
Wow. They traveled. across. They're like,
And
no, you're going to surrender.
And when I tell you, I know for a fact, like they don't move every night.
No, they're not like the Toy Story toys. They don't come alive at night.
No, they stay in their place. Like
they don't move.
No,
they're an object.
But in times that I've had really, really hard times, this is not the first time I've woken up with them underneath me.
Yeah, I love it.
But
that's God's wink, his hand on you, baby.
And so I went to go make my bed, and my eyes got big and my jaw dropped. I'm like, oh gosh.
Okay.
I hear you. I hear you.
I hear you. I see you, literally.
I hear you. I see you. I'm surrendering. I'm not trying to control this situation. Yep. I am going to let
I love a good God wink.
Ride.
Literally this morning on the way to school, Ezra's like, oh my gosh, I forgot I got to bring a plushie to school today and I didn't get one from home, and he's freaking out. And I'm like, okay, it's okay. Like, we'll figure it out. And then he like looks down and there was a stuffed animal. Goldie had like dropped a stuffed animal in the car yesterday. And he goes, oh my gosh, Goldie's plushie's in here. Do you think she'll let me borrow it? I was like, yes, absolutely. And he's like, Jesus was literally watching me. Like, he was literally watching me. And I looked down because he controlled my eyes and there was a plushie. And I said, you know what?
Yes.
He was. I said, that is a God wink. And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, there are little things in our lives that are tiny, tiny, tiny that to us we're like, oh, cute. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But that's God being like, hey, I'm here. Just a quick reminder. And I said, and the way you pray every night and the way you just pour into Jesus and love him, he's just showing you he loves you too. And he's like, literally, thank you, Jesus. Like, he was so happy. But it just reminded me of that. Yeah. Like, the beads were there and you're just like, okay, I see you. Thank you. I love you.
I told you I was going to surrender, and I know I'm anxious, but like, okay, I'm
going to do it.
I got it.
I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let go, let God.
Yeah. So sorry, I kind of went on a tangent, but piggybacking off of that, I feel like that for me, you know, I felt this in the last like couple months, but I feel like that is what I'm working more towards.
Just truly like surrendering life.
Just truly surrendering. And I think, you know, if I had to like
pick a
resolution, it would, this is a tricky one because part of it is me being in control of this.
Yeah.
But I think the control would put me at ease to surrender a lot more things. It would really just be like putting myself on a consistent schedule because now that I work for myself, I obviously can
do
make
whatever
my own
you
schedule,
want.
right? So, you know, I really should only go on have meetings in person or at
a certain time of day
on Tuesdays from 1 to 4. And I should only go on venue visits on Thursdays from 1 to 4. Like if I could implement those and put them in place, I would really like to, but it's just also at the same time, if I have a client that is coming in on a Friday and that's the only day they can do because that's when they can get off of work. Like I have to make concessions to that.
Yeah, especially like being in the early stages of your business. We've talked about this. Yeah. Like anyone who knows who owns a baby business or you're building a clientele of any sort, like in the beginning, you just got to say yes. Yeah. You got to say yes, but there's boundaries. Like, oh, I can't pass this time because you're not going to go at 9 p.m. because that's your time. You know, so like, definitely, maybe more so just for you, even just like setting real work-life boundaries. Right. Like trying to.
Yeah. And honestly, if I could do like, I mean, this is something really small that is very relatable for a lot of people that are listening. It's like, if I could take the same workout class every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday, like setting
a schedule.
But setting real those exact ones. But I'll tell you, some mornings, like sometimes on a Tuesday morning, I'll wake up and I will have scheduled myself to go take a HIIT class. Sometimes my body,
you're like, no,
can't do it. Yeah. My body's not feeling like it. And it would just be better for me mentally and physically to go take a Pilates class.
Right.
Or to go do a yoga stretch, you know? Yeah. So it's like being able to have that freedom.
And just being able to really like listen.
And make the choice would be really nice. But I really wish I could get myself on more of a consistent schedule. So I think that's more of my
write out what you want your Monday through Friday to really look like and just make it happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, that includes telling people no when it's during your work hours. Cricket.
Did you just call me out?
I did.
Okay.
You say, nope, I have work.
Okay.
Because it's hard for Kristen to say no. So y'all, if she starts telling you no, don't take it personal. I'm just trying to help her set some fun boundaries too.
I had to do it the other day.
It's hard for her to say no, but like you have your own stuff. You got to take care of you.
I know. The other day I was really feeling anxious and I I had told somebody I would go somewhere with them, and I knew I wasn't feeling good. Like, and I was like to the point where my battery was on E. Like it was on E. Like it was
empty, drained
it was blinking.
battery.
Like if you don't,
please charge me.
yeah, please charge me.
I'm begging to be charged.
And I had to tell this person that like I knew I would get sick if I went. Like I knew
Your body was
my
at the
body was
end.
telling me, and I really didn't want to let this person down.
Ugh, it's hard. I don't
And
love it.
And I'm just at the point also where I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, well, if you don't tell her no and you go to this, you're really letting yourself down.
You are.
And who's the only person that's going to look out for you?
You.
So I had to make that hard decision, but it was really hard for me. And I was very, I was like worked up all day.
I've been there
But
where
even
you're like,
during that event time, like I was like, I wonder if she's having fun. I wonder if she's like
okay,
enjoying her time. Like I wonder if like the event went okay.
Me?
Did she? Yeah. Like is she mad at me? Is she ever gonna even ask me to go somewhere again? But I just knew
you couldn't.
I couldn't do. There was nothing for me to give, and I was not gonna be my best self.
Yeah,
So
there's
I had to make a
times where we
decision.
have to do that. Like on a Monday, you're like, yes, oh, Friday, let's do this. And Friday comes and you're like, I can't. I'm so tired. I don't feel good. Or I just really need to be alone or whatever it looks like. And it's so hard to like be honest with people because we're scared to let them down. But like you said, why aren't we scared to let ourselves down? Like you're going to go to the event and feel miserable and then be sick and have to miss 4 more events because you
didn't recharge yourself. Yeah. So I think for me, those would be it. Like
yeah,
setting
it
a
sounds
schedule
like some good, like healthy boundaries for you is going to be your year.
Is my year? Yeah. Setting
the
boundaries.
year of boundaries.
The year of boundaries.
I have a very similar goal.
Yeah. I think for me, that would just be like an overall general gist. And yeah, if I tell you no, I'm really sorry. Please don't take it personal. Please don't think that you're not important.
And that's the thing
I
too.
just have to take care of
people in your
myself.
circle should understand.
That's really hard.
It's really hard. But if someone gets mad at you for not, then it's like, are you for me?
Yeah.
Because I'm just being honest. Like I don't feel good, or I don't have it in me to go, I'm so sorry, have fun. Like that should be allowed.
Enough. Yeah.
Without upsetting someone. But
Right.
some people are like, but you ditched me.
You went here last night with this person and you're going to
like
a
we're
party
taking
tomorrow.
tabs on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not your friends.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, you can
Or people that respect you.
And it's really hard when you lose people through stuff like that because it hurts. It hurts. You're like,
it hurts.
wait a second. I thought we had a good relationship. Like I thought you could like understand that. And the reality of it is sometimes you learn the hardest, most painful ways that people are not for you. Yeah. And it sucks. Like people you pour into and think are your dearest friends that you're going to have for the rest of your life.
That you make time for. And
that
then
you make time
it.
for and you love with all of you. And then they hurt you or do something that you're like, wait, what? I would literally never do that to you.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It
but
sucks.
That's something lately I've seen a couple times in the past like 3 months, some major things. And I'm like, I just have to trust that God, like, you're not for me.
And that's okay.
Like, God's removing you from my life right now for a reason. And if you come back, great. If you don't, like, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Because I have him.
Right.
And that's really all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is really also hard.
Yeah.
I was telling someone that the other day. I'm like, sometimes you just want like to hug Jesus. Like it'd be really nice if you could just come down and be face to face, give me a hug, show me your love, tell me a little something, and then you can go back up.
Yeah.
Cause it's hard when he's not here. There's we're praying and we're talking to someone that we just wish we could like hear from.
Yeah.
Instant gratification again. But it's just like, gosh, the patience and just accepting that he is trying to talk to us and tell us these things, but a lot of times our noise
There's too much noise.
Is canceling out his voice. So removing the noise and setting boundaries is like literally his dream for us. So we can hear him through our headband.
So what is yours?
Okay, so I'm going to finish the Bible.
Okay.
For sure next year. So that I'm like keeping that and more so just like making sure I'm reading something every day. I think I was so stuck on that plan. And I love that she, that it's, gosh, now I can't think of it's on the Bible app, but the Bible recap is what it's called. The Bible recap. I love that she does it. She hops you around in order of how things happen. Because a lot of things in the Bible
are out of
order. Or the same story kind of is said in a few books.
Yeah.
So she hops you through and you read it all
in order. And it's told from different perspectives.
Correct. So I loved that. But sometimes it's like, really boring, or I'm like, this has nothing to do with me right now, or this doesn't resonate with me, or like whatever. So I love it, but I also love that towards the second half of the year, I gave myself grace to like not follow. Like I was like, you don't have to follow the plan today. Like if you need to read in Book of Matthew, then read the Book of Matthew. Like, so just really just making sure it just stays part of my consistent everyday routine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it gets put on the back burner.
But
and
maybe
it's, like,
it's also not reading the Bible. It could be reading a book that's like a self-help book that,
yeah,
you
and
know, has
all
some
that,
sort of
I
like,
think that's good
or
too.
some biblical foundation.
Yeah, but for me, like I'm so like strong on just the Bible was given to us as a tool. It is like the best way to get to know God. It is the best way to like build your relationship with him.
For
like
sure.
He is alive on every page. I say it all the time. So I love those books too. Like, and I love when they reference and they come, but I feel to me, it's just so important for me to read
I know,
the
but
Bible.
I'm saying not feeling so like
the
stressed.
pressure.
Yes, the pressure to like reading it. Like you're saying reading something and like
something. That's what I even told
But
Aaron.
God has
like,
these testimonies for everybody else. So that book
correct.
could be a testimony you need to hear that day.
Right, for sure. So I think just like sticking with that, my Jesus time period, just like my daily Jesus time. But I'm excited to like finish the Bible and say I've read the Bible.
Yeah.
Like that feels like so exciting to me, and I'm like very close. So I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay.
The boundaries for sure. Just setting some boundaries. My biggest issue is just I'm like really sick and tired of getting walked all over, but I lay myself down as a mat for people to walk on.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for some changes.
I'm sorry. I'm like literally picturing you laying down. And
I did too. I literally pictured myself
like
laying
rolling
down.
you out.
It was like, everyone
you
come walk.
And just.
But I let myself do it because I don't have healthy boundaries. I'm not. Like I get really twisted with just being too nice and pleasing people versus just like having some respect for myself too. Yeah. So I really want to work on that. I think it'll change my life. I've done it in a few areas and I've seen major shifts that make me feel literally free. So I'm like, I have got to be consistent with that. Really, I mean, those are my like two big ones. I did recently start going to therapy.
Love that.
And I'm really excited to work on just some like things that I have like bottled up inside of me, and a lot of things that cause my anxiety. I'm ready to squash the anxiety era. I am like so done with it, but I'm not done with it because it consumes me and it's crippling. And I was literally telling my mom yesterday, I'm like, even when my kids are being good but loud, like they're happy, they're laughing, nothing, no one should be in trouble. It like spikes my anxiety because the sounds, like I'm
You're
just
triggered.
sensitive right now.
Yeah, sounds.
Like my mind is constantly just going
on a hamster
and
wheel.
like I literally feel just so overstimulated by the littlest sounds. Like the TV's on and I'm like, I literally feel like my heart is coming.
So it's like getting to the root of why that makes you feel that.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of it. It is crippling. It is ruining my life.
You're gonna get rid of it.
And I'm gonna. In Jesus' name, He is gonna heal me.
Yeah.
With a little bit of work, a little bit of self-work.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to tackle that and see where I am a year from now.
That's awesome.
Because I think it's gonna be like this time next year, I'm gonna be
a totally different. Yes. Not a totally different person, but a better version of yourself.
Of myself. And I'm so like, God, take this from me. I'm having a panic attack. Like, take it from me, but it doesn't go away because I'm not really surrendering because I'm still obsessing over
you're
thoughts.
still trying to control getting rid of it.
Yes. And it's not like, it's not my job.
Yeah.
I really do have to surrender. And I'm like excited to learn some ways to like get around it and heal my heal my little self.
I love it.
Yeah. So I think it's just a big like self-care year for us.
There we go.
We're ready to like take care of us because like you've heard us say, God gave us these bodies. We only have one temple and it is up to us to care for them. Like I always tell new moms too, when they have new babies and they don't know what to do and they're like, oh, I feel like my mom got my instinct. And I'm like, that baby can't speak. It can do nothing for itself. Like you're all it has. And if you can't speak up for your baby and do these things that your mom gut is telling you to do, like the baby has nothing. And I feel like that's us with Jesus. Like we are his little babies, that like sometimes we just don't really know how to handle it, how to do it. But if we don't like have him in our lives to do it for us and to speak and to show us all these things, like we're going to fail. Just like a newborn baby would literally fail without the mother. You know, like how does a baby do anything without its mom?
Right. What are we doing? Who are we?
Literally can't move. You cannot move.
Yeah. Crippled.
So we are honestly like that. Like look at us as the little crippled little babies. Like we can't do anything.
We need a whole. We need our hands held.
Our father. We need our father. And without him, like it's just nothing's gonna happen.
True.
So basically, we are here to celebrate
2025.
The new year. We have a little versey verse and Kristen's
brand
new Bible. That is just stunning.
This
is her first reading in it on the show.
This will be here.
And are you gonna? Did you say you're gonna try the Bible recap?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna start reading.
For anybody that's like on the Hallow app, or maybe you've even just downloaded it or follow a program, but the Bible in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz.
Yeah.
He does
Probably
a reading
similar.
every day and he talks through it. I did it 2 years ago and I made it a few months in, but even when I would be listening, I would find myself thinking about other things.
Well, and I think that is a huge part of too, like where your faith is today, where your relationship with God is today. Like back a couple years ago, the Bible probably really was boring to you.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying?
I just think that I was like, again, there was so much noise around me and there was so much chaos.
When I used to try to read it, I was like my mind was everywhere else. Like it was just like, this doesn't make sense. I would close it up, or I would just look for a verse that like was popular that I have heard 1,000 times, and I'd try to go read that story, and it was just like, this people love the Bible, but this is not
hearing.
Yeah,
I was
you weren't hearing. It wasn't actually, and that's why
digesting.
I think. Actually, I know that God puts things on our hearts at certain times, and like when He put it on my heart last year that it was time to read the Bible, He was like, "It's time to read the Bible. It's time for you to get to know me a little more." I was like, "Okay," and now when I read, I can focus, and I cannot focus, by the way. I literally, reading is very hard for me. It has to be very juicy. Someone has to be getting killed. Someone has to be doing it. Like, I'm telling you, I know these books aren't good for my mental health.
A scandal.
But it has to be scandalous. So when I was like reading the Bible and like feeling things and understanding it, and like, it was just a whole different experience. Yeah. So I think there's nothing wrong with reading it in your time and when it feels right and when it makes sense. But when you do get into it and you start like reading and seeing all these like horrible people that God turned better and uses their testimony to teach, like you're like, this is just like us.
Right.
There's just all these sinners and God is just like turning them around, and He still to this day, it's the same life.
Yeah.
Just we have different things
there it is.
Around us.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Sorry. That was a little ramble for those of you who are ready to read the Bible. It's great.
Well, and I am much more like I'm better with audio than reading. I've gotten better with reading, but I'm just way better with audio. I like to listen. But I think, again, there was so much junk in my life at the time, and there was so much noise that even when I was listening, I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Because there was just so many other things I was like sifting through, even if that was on in the background. And like, do I think that was still doing work in me?
Yes.
Do I think subconsciously I was hearing and I was listening? Yes. But was I like actively engaged in it? No. So
now you are.
So now I am.
New purple, living on a prayer Bible.
Yes. All right. Philippians 4:8. That's the verse we chose. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you.
Which is like the goal of life, to have peace.
Peace be with you. As you set your New Year's resolutions, or maybe it's not a New Year's resolution, maybe it's just a goal of yours or something that you have in mind, whether it's for that year or, like we're saying, maybe it's it's a big goal, but you just want to take stepping stones to get there.
Baby steps.
Just make sure that it's honoring God and it's within His will and His timing, and not what you want and what you think you need. Because
We're usually wrong there.
He'll give you a little reality check.
Yes, he
pretty
will.
quickly.
But
and I think I'm probably in need of a few reality checks.
Yeah, we all are.
All of us.
Are you kidding?
Know?
We're all on some form on our high horse thinking we got it together. We know what we need. We know what we're supposed to do.
He's going to knock you down.
He's going to knock you down.
So you can figure it out.
To your knees until you're begging and surrendering.
To him.
Because, y'all, I can't say it enough how important it is to just truly surrender to him and to just pour into this relationship. I was driving here listening to my worship music, y'all. If you ever see me at a red light or anything, like I literally full on worship in my car like I'm at church. Like I'm singing very loud. My arms are up. My eyes might be closed at the red light. Like I literally have chills like in my car. Like I am whatever. But I was listening to a song on the way here and it was so beautiful. And I was just thinking like, I wish I could shake everyone and just be like, you have to know Jesus.
Yeah.
And like how much better life is with him and how just in a year of me fully understanding that my life and my everything around me has
shifted and changed. Mm-hmm.
And things are still shifting that I know, like, I know I'm going to have a story to tell in about a year or two when that finishes its move. But like, taking that step back and seeing what has happened and what he has done for me in this year when I fully was like, hey, let's be friends. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready to like pour into you and make you my number one, because before he just wasn't, to be honest. And it's just like, I just was like thinking like, I want everyone to know and to feel this. And no, life is not butterflies and rainbows. Like I cry all the time. Butterflies. I have bumps, I have trenches, I have pain, I suffer. Like I'm still a human, but without him, I don't know how I'd make it.
Yeah.
And then I think about how sad I feel that people don't know him. How do y'all get through things without him? He's just
I wanted
to
read this. Sorry,
okay.
That's why I reached for my phone.
Sorry, I just get so
it's okay.
I get so passionate about it.
I saw something last night. Let me see. I thought I screenshotted it. Oh, I didn't.
Oh, great. Can you remember it?
Oh, here it is. Have you ever seen this image? Have any of y'all ever seen this image?
I've never seen that.
Okay, so it's a man with a boulder on his back, reaching for a woman that's falling off of a cliff.
Okay.
She's reaching up for him. And there's a snake in between the two of them. Okay, so this has really been sticking out to me lately. And so for you just saying that, like, you have trenches and yes, there are highs and lows. And okay, in the world that we live in, we know a lot about people's successes and their beauty, and on Instagram, you see more of a highlight reel. You see more of a highlight reel than you do the negative things going on. But sometimes you have to remember that the negative things that are going on in somebody's life, it may be too personal to talk about.
For sure.
B, they may be hurting so bad they can't talk about it. C, their story's not done yet.
It's not
to be talked about. And you've taught me that a lot of like, it's just not ready to be told yet.
Right.
Because there's no ending clarity. There's no healing.
Right.
So people can't talk about it yet.
Yeah.
And, I've heard a few like really hurtful things to me recently about what people think about me and my life. And I'm like, oh, so people want to see you fail.
They do.
Because but I think it's part of like, they want you to be human.
Yes. They're like, there's no way she can have all that.
Yeah, there's no way.
She needs to have something wrong. Right?
And like, ooh, yeah, baby. Yeah, I have a lot of things wrong. And a lot of them I'm not ready to talk about yet.
Yeah. And it may be a long time before you talk about some of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I always, like, we talk about this so much, but it's like, I feel like there's things inside of me that I can't wait to talk about, but I can't.
You're not ready yet.
I am in no place to be.
When they're not healed, you're not to a healing place yet.
And you can't like talk on something that isn't done.
Right.
God's still working.
Especially because if it's not like sealed and it's not closed and you aren't healed from it, then conversations and comments and opinions are going to come at you and they're going to hurt you worse, and you're not going to be able to defend it.
Right. Because you don't have an answer.
Because you don't have the clarity on it.
Or you might be messing up someone else's progress on their version because yours is just half done, and you're like, well, this is what I think, and
they're
like,
all yeah. So anyway,
I love that.
I actually was sitting the other day and I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, actually the timing on this is 1:51 a.m. So I was looking at this at 1:51.
I can't. I hate her. That's your goal too. We're gonna get you to bed. No. Maybe in 2026.
It's when it's when I'm successful.
She really is
night.
good at. She really is good in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night, that's when I get my most work done, my most creative, my most whatever. Anyway, this is not about me. This is the story. So if you can't see it, that's what the picture is. So this is what it says.
I just felt like it was time.
Okay, great. The man doesn't know that there's a snake underneath. The woman doesn't know that there is a stone crushing the man. The woman thinks, I am going to fall and I can't climb because the snake is going to bite me. Why can't this man use a little more strength and pull me up?
Ooh.
The man is thinking, I am in so much pain, yet I'm still pulling you as hard as I can. Why don't you try and climb a little harder? The moral of this is you cannot see the pressure that the other person is under, and the other person can't see the pain that you're in.
This is so good.
This is life, and whether it's work, family, feelings, or friends, we should try to understand each other. Learn to think differently and perhaps more clearly to communicate a little better. A little thought and patience goes a long way.
And grace.
Be kind to people because everyone we meet is fighting their own battle.
It's so true. I love that.
And I've seen this a few times, and like we're saying, you know, healing is not linear. Success is not linear. Like you have to fail to succeed. You have to go through these things. And we're all humans. We are so quick to judge.
Ugh, so quick.
And we are so quick to give people solutions to their problems when you don't know the entirety of it.
Right.
Or when you think you can do that. So it's just sometimes even like opening up your mind to consider that there are other things besides just the thing that you see straight in front of you.
Right. And like just really giving people grace. Like there was this viral reel that keeps popping up on my page. Fix my glasses.
So you can see clearly.
Fix my glasses. And it was something very similar to this. Like it was like this lady at a restaurant with a toddler throwing a tantrum. And this other older woman's like, golly, get a hold of your kid. And then it shows like 2 days before. And it's this lady like taking this little boy as a foster child. And she doesn't know him. He doesn't know her. He's like 4 years old. So that was like his first experience in public. And he was freaking out.
Right.
And it was like, you have no idea. That's not even her child. But that lady assumed, get your kid together, lady.
Yeah, like don't bring your kid in public.
And then
if
the
that's
next
the
video
case.
was this girl like parking her car at the grocery store. And this other lady's like, love your car, so nice. And she's like, oh, thanks. And then she was checking out with food stamps. And the lady's like, oh, classic, like nice car out front, but using food stamps. And then it shows like someone was like, you can borrow my car. I'll watch your kid. I'll do anything to help you get back on your feet. We'll give you a place to sleep. So she had nothing. And someone like had lent her the car. And so this lady assumes.
So she's doing what she can with the food stamps.
You have this amazing car, but you're using food stamps, like classic. And she was like,
this is all I can do. And
yes.
not that I need to explain that to you.
And
but
she just stared, and it was a few other scenarios, like 2 other ones that were very similar. And it put things in such perspective. Like, how quick are we at, like, when we're somewhere, like, of course, like, she has those shoes on, great. But, like, what if someone gave her those shoes or whatever it may be?
Yeah.
Or the tantrum, like the lady, like, we don't know anything. We know nothing about, especially strangers. And how quick are we to, like, judge people off of what they're doing right in front of us? So even you saying like what you see in front of you, not just on like Instagram, Facebook, but like literally
in
real life, we make these assumptions, and it's like, we can't do that, y'all. We got to be better. We have got to be nice. We have got to give grace. We have got to even just be like,
well, and even to ourselves too. So that's another thing that I have recognized. And like,
how hard are we on ourselves
so
and why?
hard,
Like, we
so
just
hard,
took a
so hard,
picture
so
of
hard.
ourselves, and we both were like, oh, look at me on this, look at me on this, I'm so ugly. And then we're like, what? Like,
Yeah,
why
what?
do we just pick that apart?
I don't know.
But you know why too? Because some of it is like, I am like, oh, someone's gonna look at this picture of me and be like,
And
look at
think
her
all
under
of these
eyes,
things, and they're gonna be
and they don't even
mean,
notice. I
ugly.
mean, some people do, but haters gonna hate.
right.
I'm sure people are zooming in on my face, making fun of me out
Yeah.
there, whatever.
But it's just all like we think that we have to do these things, and right, we've talked about this before. Is like, what does success look like to you?
Yeah, what does it mean to you? Not
But
to
it's-
everyone else around you.
Yeah, like what is success? Like, is it a number in your bank account?
Right.
Is it a certain size house? Is it a certain amount of children?
Right.
Is it paying for everything yourself? And not taking things from other people?
Right.
Is it charity? Is it
What is
whatever
it?
it looks like to you? Is it a certain job position? I don't know. But I, again, recently have found myself being like, okay, these people think this. I am hard enough on myself. I know this, that I need success for me is going to be me doing this,
Right.
and this. And when I tell myself those things within the same week, this happened to me 2 weeks ago. Within that week, I heard 3 different stories of, I'm just going to tell y'all what it is.
Yeah, I'm like, you better freaking recognize.
Okay. I live with my parents. If y'all don't know that, now you know.
She lives with her mom and dad.
I'm very blessed. My parents have a house that's big enough for me to not even see them if I don't want to see them. The common space we share is the kitchen. Like I have my own laundry room. She
has her own wing, we call it.
Yeah. And so a lot of times I will get really hard on myself and I'm like, man, I'm such a loser. I live with my parents. And then I'm like, honestly, no, I'm making memories with my parents. They're not going to be around forever.
Right.
And like, I'm spending time with them that like some people my age aren't getting because they're already in it.
I'm not yawning because it's boring. I just had to yawn.
Okay.
Sorry.
But like, but you know, I've had to shift my perspective and think that way of like, also I'm hard on myself of like, I should own my own home.
Right.
I should own my own home. I don't want my parents to give me money to own my own home. I want to buy my own home.
Right.
Why can't I buy my own home and all the things that come along with it? The insurance, the landscaping, the water, the bill, like,
everything.
the electric bills. Like, there's so much that goes along with it. And even if I did, then I flip to like, I enjoy spending time with my parents. They don't bother me. Like,
yeah,
if I don't want to be with them, I don't have to be with them. They don't want to be with me. They don't have to be with me. If we want to spend time together, we do.
Right.
And honestly, if I lived alone, I probably would go to their house
every day.
Go to dinner with them.
Or my house.
Anyway. Or you
like,
know, or
you wouldn't want to be alone.
And so I was being really hard on myself on like, even if somebody, I was like, oh my God, if they ask me where I live and I have to say my parents' house, they're going to be like, cool. Like, I don't really care to hang out with you anymore. Or like, what a loser. I don't know. And I had a lot of these like self-doubt things, whatever. So within the next 2 weeks, just people around me, I never brought this up to anyone. I laid down at night thinking about it and praying about it and being like, God, just please like help me understand why I'm thinking these things.
It's not a big deal.
And
Take it away.
You know, within those 2 weeks, people just around me were talking all about like their monetary situations and actually who bought these homes for them or
who helped them,
gave it. These people had this home and they didn't even buy it from them. They just took over the lease and paid the bills and paid the bills on it.
Like house.
They didn't buy the house.
Right.
Or
so you kind of started to see like, hold up, I'm not the only one who hasn't bought a house.
Right. Conversations of like wills and trusts and things have been like apparent around me. And I'm like, that's how my friends or the people around me like bought those homes. I'm like, I'm sitting here being like
hard on yourself.
Oh, my friends.
Yeah. They all
these people around me have this and they have that. And like, it really, really put me into perspective of that like, okay, they may have had help or maybe they did do it themselves. But I have this.
And you also have no idea how they got there.
And I have no idea how they got there.
Just like we were saying before.
I was assuming and saying like, wow, lucky them.
Right.
And self-sabotaging myself. It's just so crazy.
It is. We definitely make a lot of assumptions that cause us to have more negative feelings towards ourselves.
Right.
Like the comparison stuff, it is insane.
Right. Or like
the things we do of like, oh, she has that or like they have that or whatever. Why don't I? And then like you find out like, oh, well, they have it because of this or whatever. And then sometimes we get more mad because I'm like, oh, so you got that? Like someone just gave you that? Must be nice.
Right.
But that must be nice. Like, it's horrible. It's so yucky.
I know.
Like, must be nice. Actually, it is nice. It's a blessing. It's like, like, dang. Let's just be happy for the others,
I know.
You know?
I know.
But it's hard. It's so hard to, like, keep that clear mind of, like,
it's so hard.
Stay in your own lane. Focus on you. As long as you're doing what the Lord intends for you to do, you're doing godly things, you're living like a Christian should.
He's going to provide.
You're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay.
Yeah. And you're going to look back and be like, dang, look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me now.
It's just crazy.
It is crazy. It's insane. The things that we like put ourselves through.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the things we feel and go through that are negative and stressful are self-induced.
We make them ourselves.
Self-induced.
For sure.
Anxiety, stress.
Anyway, so we're getting rid of all of that. We're surrendering.
We're throwing that in the trash
can.
can.
We are stepping stones closer to what God wants us to be and where he wants us to be.
Amen.
And where he needs us to be.
Wherever and whatever that looks like for him, we're ready to just give it. Surrender. Let go, let God, as we say.
So now we're going to throw a party.
We're going to party. Hold on. Let's get a song.
All right.
We are going to party, and we are going to celebrate the new year with y'all. Don't get excited. We're not going to kiss at midnight.
Are you kidding me?
I mean,
that's really where you went with
sorry, but I don't know who's watching. No, this isn't the song I want. Oh, this is kind of a good song. A Happy New Year. Okay. Wait.
Do you have any movies that you like that have to do with New Year's?
Honestly, don't pop that. That's going to pop off.
Wait, can you calm down?
No.
Pop off, baby.
That's going to pop off because it's been sitting out of the fridge. No, I can't like think of a movie. Why? What's one that you're thinking of?
I like The Holiday. I think it's good.
Oh, I like The Holiday too. I like The Holiday.
I like The Holiday like overall. All right.
This is a good one.
Bailey, look.
Don't Stop Believing.
Bailey, it did not pop.
I know. It's going to come off pretty easy.
All right.
Wait. Let's get our sign.
Not yet.
Why?
Because I'm going to pour the
Oh,
glasses.
Okay. Woohoo! Let's celebrate.
Wait.
I just punched a tree. Do you need me to do that? I'm a regular.
This is actually really tight. You said it was going to pop off. It is.
I thought it would because of the because it's like hot. Let me try.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, now I'm kind of
Bailey.
nervous that we're not going to be able to open it and look like a bunch of fools on the episode. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Please don't shoot me in the face. Woo! Happy New Year. Too bad we couldn't do fireworks in here.
Oh, that's aggressive.
Tilt the glass.
Ting, ting.
Because it's going to be extra bubbly.
All right, y'all, we're going to do a little countdown.
Party. This is not a good song. I mean, it's a good song.
It is good.
Stop. Chug it.
Ooh.
Oh, I know what we should. Guys, we hope that you all have the best New Year's, the best year of your life.
2025.
2025
beautiful things to come.
Is going to be your year. And if you can make any goal for yourself, it needs to be to get closer to Jesus. Start there and the rest will fall into place. And he will put the goals on your heart.
Yeah, for sure.
I will tell you, there are things that I never thought I would change about myself in my life that are changing because he is opening that door to that change. So
Yeah, for sure.
if you pour into him first, pour into that relationship first and foremost, the rest is going to come into place.
Amen.
Amen. 10,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Guys, this is the year. This is the year. Oh, I also have goals for living on a prayer.
Okay.
I just feel like...
Hit me.
Pausing that, sorry. I just feel like this has grown so much in 1 year.
Not even 6 months.
Yeah, you're right. I guess a year ago we started talking about
1 year ago we started talking about this.
Literally. And the things that have come from this, like
crazy.
the relationships, the conversations, just all of it. Like I have a big good feeling about this next year for us.
What's your goal?
Well, I just want to continue to like, I don't have like a goal as in like, I want this many downloads or this many, because I just feel like it's been authentically happening like perfectly.
How it should.
But I feel like I know it's going to grow a lot this year, and I'm just really excited to continue to spread the word. In the most fun way. Are you kidding? This is so fun.
It is so
Having
fun.
a glass of champagne on a Friday, just preaching the word. This is my life.
This is our life.
This is my dream come true. Are you kidding? Happy New Year. Okay, that was really it. I mean, I it's not that I had like a goal. I just was like, I feel like I left that out, but I'm like really excited.
Well, you just want to watch it grow.
It's going to grow.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to grow.
For sure, 5-star.
what we got. It doesn't really make it. Oh.
You don't
Guess
even
I don't
know
know the
our theme
words.
song? Are you ready?
And that's a lot. Oh, whoa. We'll give it a shot. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Y'all, seriously, jam out to this song in your car, and your life will be real good. Okay.
All right.
Happy
I think
New
that's
Year.
A wrap. Happy New Year.